Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. We got brother Ulysses Muff, Vanguard K9 in the house. Hey, so we ain't gonna mess around. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I call myself Grandmaster Von the Muff, the world's greatest puppy imprinter with some of the world's greatest working friends. Um, I've been in dogs for a very long time. I want to say I was born into these dogs, but I really broke into mainstream around 19, no, let's say for sure YouTube 2009, took us to the next level, but let's say 1998. But I was always known in Jacksonville, Florida, that little boy who walks down the street with a bunch of dogs, dog boy.
Mm-hmm.
That I was ice cream boy because I had an ice cream truck. Then I was hot dog boy. I was preacher boy because my granddad and them had a church, and I used to be walking around with a briefcase and business cards. And but I was also the dog boy. You don't want to mess with dog boy.
Right.
Dog boy, oh boy, them dogs gonna eat your ass up. That's what they tell them.
Oh
So
yeah, I
I
felt
was
that.
a little kid walking down the street, got a bunch of dogs walking around and been surrounded around me.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
I'm a breeder. I'm a trainer. Uh, I'm into all kind of things, as far as beyond the dogs, multimedia business, security and investigations, um, just studio recording, ex artists, just anything that makes money that's positive to keep a brother out of prison. But my
that's
love
what's up.
and passion is the dogs.
That's what's up. Good deal. Good deal. So you do the Dutch Shepherd. That's what you known for.
Yeah, I want to say we can go with. I'm known for that because I stuck with a family of dogs. I bought the number one dog in the world at that time. Back in like 2011, 9, 10, like 9, 10.
Okay. Who was this dog?
The dog was Carlos Van Boss PH1 Mellow. I bought an older dog that already had done 2 years in a row, did his thing. They had a bloodline in Europe that was sought after. People based their dogs off of him. They thought I was crazy, to give up that kind of money for a dog like that at that time, and especially to be at a brother. They figured I didn't know nothing, and the dog was gonna kill me because it was a bad dog. Uh, and I bought also his little mate brother was Weebo. Now Weebo is a known dog because Van Leeuwen, if you know about the shepherds, Dick Van Leeuwen owned Weebo, and that's his bloodline that all his dogs are out of. So Carlos was supposedly Weebo's little mate brother. Now I say that people say, well, what would you say supposedly? Well, I say that as a breeder because I bred um had hundreds of dogs out of that stuff from both sides, and I've never seen dogs, none of them ever look alike as far as if they, supposed to. They never look like anything like neither or the other. I bought his double bred. I took a double bred son off of Weeble. I bought from uh, a girl that came from Europe. Her name was Angelique DeRue. She brought him to Canada and they imported him to me. I also had his Quartro son. So I had the number one dog in the world. I had his double bred nephew off of his brother, the auntie bred to the brother, then the daughter bred back to him. Then I had the great nephew, and then I line bred those dogs. That dog, the number one dog in the world, daughter to the double bred uh, nephew, and then the children off the double bred nephew back to the uncle, and then to his son, the double bred son, and then I never crossed them out. I just kept line breeding them till I got my dogs the way I wanted.
Right.
Created the color, the blues, the purples. They say I was messing up the game. How you messing up the game if I didn't put anything in them? I'm just using the same dogs. Just
They,
come and I just made an alley gene, a dominant gene by line breeding it 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, and I didn't sell papers. I sold the working dogs. So I got known for that. The blue dogs, the Dutch shepherds, the screaming demons, uh, taking dogs off of 60, 70 generations of certified certificate dogs. I was able to to get that consistency by line breeding them the same way you see guys line breed game dogs. I wasn't crossing them out. I was getting consistency in the line.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I got a guy coming on in October. He gonna dive deep into genetics, and the way you breed. A lot of people don't breed that way. They don't know about it. Yeah.
They scatter breeding the dogs, and so when you take a dog, you take and buy a dog from a guy in Mexico, and then you take another dog that's purebred of the same breed. You buy it from New York, and it didn't come from the same place. Now it's half this dog, half this dog. So now you got 50% chance that the dog's gonna be eating great. But if
diluting the dog,
if you're using a 60 to 70 generation of certified certificate police dogs, every dog in my line is a certified certificate police dog. You see what I'm saying? If it can be like the daddy or the mama, or one of the granddaddies or one of the grandmamas, then the dog gonna be great.
Right. All right.
So when you got that kind of consistency, what you're getting is puppies if you imprint them right. And so that's what I'm known as the imprinter, the puppy imprinter.
Right.
It's about imprinting.
Yeah.
You get that consistency. You could take puppies if they're raised right. So let's say imprinting is in my opinion, being raised right, because the reason I started breeding dogs is because you'll take your hard-earned money and buy a dog from some of these guys in breed groups, and it's politics in dogs. So they're not going to give you a dog straight off of this champion. They're going to give you a daughter that's had a baby from another dog. That dog end up with 25% of that champion now. If the mama is she only 50% of him, you breed her to something else, now she only 25%. See, they scatter breed. So now you only got a quarter. You want a quarter of pure cocaine, or you want the whole block?
Right. Yeah.
No. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that being said, if I got dogs that come from those kind of genetics, dogs that have done great, high scoring dogs, hard civil dogs, dogs that are bred to fight a man, because we're talking about police line dogs. We're not talking about sports dogs. We're not talking about pet dogs. We're not talking about show line dogs from AKC, not those paper dogs. We talk about people being able to breed dogs the way they want them, because the police line, if you breed a Belgian Malinois to a Dutch Shepherd, the only thing changes is the stripes. Is a Dutch Shepherd solid dog, fawn dog, tan is a Malinois, or they breed it to a German Shepherd or whatever. Whatever it looks like, whatever they say what it is, and they keep it honest. Because what they're doing is breeding dogs that had the record. This dog got out here, found $2 million in her first 6 months, recertified to stay on the department. Next year she found $4 million, 20 suspect apprehensions, say 3 people with Alzheimer's, 2 kids and some kind of such and such. They breed that dog to another dog with the same kind of record. And so we're not breeding pedigrees, we're breeding ability. That's why these dogs are going to outperform regular dogs, or the people with bloodlines of other breeds of dogs just getting started, trying to get that dog. They're seeing these videos and trying to mimic it and not being able to get the same ending result, because also you're not using the same methods. So here I go, take dogs from, get back to what I was saying, imprinting, raised right from the day the dog's born, handling those puppies with caution, giving them the best nutrients, sight, sound, playing music, bringing them in a little bit, letting them be back with the mother, not stressing her out, touching those puppies, giving them milk, getting them familiar with my scent, my smell. You can tell when they start sucking on the bottle when they know you're there. If you've done the milk right, it's not too hot, too cold, to discourage them from wanting to suck milk, doing them right. Handle them. Handling is 99. Training, dog training, and getting a good dog in it is 99.9% handling. It's all about the handling. When they get a certain age, by the time they're walking around, their eyes open, I done pick them up, walk them around, set them down by some tires, junk in the yard, come out there. When I get ready to feed them, I'm making noises, little small noises from a distance, not loud. And as time goes on, I'm increasing it. I'm building them up. I'm building them up for all the discouraging things that are going to happen to them when they go to their new homeowners. And if I sell these dogs to law enforcement officers like I do, these guys are giving me $14,000, $15,000, $20,000 for what we call an untrained dog, a green dog. They call it green, but you got to have something in it to impress them. Besides the bloodline, they have to act right in the test. And I'm not trying to get that money back.
All right.
I'm not trying to give it back. So what I'm known for, and those guys, law enforcement officers, tell other law enforcement officers that this guy really has a good program. He really has really good dogs, high food drive, high play drive, and they really have good silver drive because in the end, when they mature, if they get in a fight with a man, those dogs really can stand the test of time. Because at the end of the day, law enforcement officers of any entity, as well as civilians like yourself, business owners, military guys are trying to come home at night. They are here fighting a good fight in the street. Now, yes, law enforcement officers are here on the home front. Military guys out there fighting the Taliban, Al Qaeda, their life is on the line. Yeah. This is not a game. This is not about how well you train a damn dog, how pretty your dog is, who you got a dog from, and who said this dog was. It's about the ability of each individual dog. Because once those puppies are born, we're testing that puppy. If that puppy don't do what it's supposed to do, then I don't sell it. I don't put my name on it.
Okay, let me ask you. Yeah, I understand. What are the top qualities your dogs must have?
Well, for my expectations, let's just say the bar is real high. And the reason the bar is high, because like I said, I bred hundreds of puppies since 99 in this breed. I've had many dozens before this of other breeds. And once you begin to train dogs, it's about reading dogs and understanding dogs and knowing confident dogs. And so the bar is high. When I see little puppies, I let them be who they are. I move them into a very big area so that when they start coming out, they can explore. They're not spooked by other dogs. They hear it, but they don't see it. Nobody handles those dogs but me. I pick each one of those dogs up, bring them on the porch in the house, just sit there, smoke a cigar, watch it. I watch how it acts when it goes to the porch, because that's a new environment, although it's in the same facility a few yards away. You know, each one of them, I individually do them. Then I bring them as a group. I watch how they act in a group. I watch their behaviors. I'm watching who walks around, who acts more confident. I know that females have, females are always like, females are like humans. Female dogs are like humans. Their motor skills begin to develop faster first. They move around. Smaller dogs are swifter than the bigger dogs. So they're going to look like they doing more always. So I'm watching that. I'm taking that in consideration. And then I watch them as weeks go by. I'm documenting how they act. I expose them to put the toys down on the floor, pick it up, put the rag down, pick it up. I call them, give them say big sounds, give them put food in their mouths. Puppy, sticking that bottle back in their mouth again. Now I'm talking saying, puppy, yeah, puppy. I'm doing it. Now they all coming. When I do that one-on-one, I do that. Then I do it in a group. I start watching who's coming, who's acting like they confident about that, who's confident about walking around. Somebody open the front door. I watch if anybody flinching, anybody moving. If that happens, I start taking that one and spending more time with it, riding in the car, take it to the store. So I say all that to you to say, I'm giving each one of those dogs the best opportunity to become somebody, because each one of them has the genetics to be somebody. But at the same time, you have to help develop those puppies and open up those Pandora boxes, and then try to figure out, as they begin to develop their motor skills, running around, playing, who's doing well, who's naturally acting confident, who's naturally searching, who's naturally trying to bite, and then placing those dogs with the right people who are looking for those attributes. So when it comes to what I want is a puppy for my client. My client want a dog that's laid back. Don't do too much to it. Don't play those games with it. Don't start opening up those Pandora boxes to biting and other things. But rub it, hug it, and let other people pet it, but not too much so it runs up to them. Nobody feed them. Just make it confident. The officer or sports guys who are going to go into these shows, they want a dog that's high drive. So the ones that are acting like they're ready to play the game, coming up, grabbing, pulling and tugging, those kind of things are very important because these guys don't buy dogs for it to sit down and lay around when they get it. These guys want to come out here. They want to pull out their balls, their Senate balls. I'm already rolling balls. Sometimes I put, that'll be a secret. I tell you, I might put food in it and get them to start pushing the ball, trying to get the ball. I got chug toys. I have bike sleeves, red sleeves. I have puppy sleeves, super soft sleeves. I make it because the puppy is so small. They got to be able to put their mouth on it. They got to be soft like a sock. And so it's not discouraging because most people get equipment and it's hard. It's very discouraging. So I'm making stuff that these puppies like and they'll be able to bite on it, and put their mouths on it. And so I'm watching all those things, and those are the kind of dogs I'm going to give to those guys. Dogs that I do those kind of things to. I don't always go to the park, but I go out there. I might put them in the pool out here in the back, make it swim a little bit, sit them on top of some dog food, a dog bag, some boxes, see who jump off, see who sit there and cry, put the food, come every day, put their food, got their food smelling real good, put them all back up on top of a bag of dog food and some hay and put it down there, see who jumps off, see who's determined, who wants this. I'm testing them for everything that could be faced possible. And then from a distance while they're having food, I might crack some whips, shake some pennies. After a while, they start to begin and believe that when they hear those sounds, good things come. Not like some dogs and sports guys, he cracked the whip and the dog goes after sleeves. He want to fight and bite and bark. Well, mine get at and they're non-reactive. You see what I'm saying? Not reactive to the sound, thinking it's bite time, but those sounds don't bring harm to them, so you don't get dogs that's flinching. Guys get dogs from me 7, 8 weeks, say, man, I shoot a gun, that dog don't even jerk. It don't do nothing. Just stand there. If you watch the video of Kodak, you'll see he's non-reactive to anything beyond what I tell him to do. Yeah. And so as those puppies develop, as they get older and you start seeing dogs with better motor skills like the females and smaller dogs so they can move quicker than fat boys like myself. I start putting them in different cages so that they don't create a hierarchy and dominate each other. Because then you can still have little good puppies that can turn out right. And if they are pack-orientated type dogs, you get 4 of them to jump a little dog and beat it up and ruin him. And some dogs never recover from that.
Right.
They was little because now he feel he's Omega. So everybody feel that they're alpha. When I start seeing a bad dog, I take that out the cage. I say, hey man, it's time to come get your dog. She's ready. So these guys don't pick dogs when they come to me. I pick dogs for them. I hear what they want. I know what they want. I start saying, now listen, take this dog. I want you to take this dog everywhere you go. And if this dog, you breaking up that system. So if you allow puppies to keep fighting, then that's what they're going to do.
Right.
So you break up, you move the dog, one start acting dominant, you move it away, breaks up that earthquake. Now you ain't around dogs. Now you're in the house with us. You had to kill them. You're learning how to use the bathroom, go out, you're getting hugged on. So now when this guy comes, this dog is very happy, is real familiar with us, in the house, heard the TV, the sounds, all that other stuff. Go ahead, take it home. And now he don't have it around dogs, and that's washed out his brain. Watching others, doing the same thing. And so it's just the repeating cycle over and over again. And then when I get close to going home, I just start, tell me again, I heard everything. I got everything written down that you wanted. I know what you want. I think I have a dog that can meet those needs. I say it's a very high drive. Most of my dogs are possessive. A guy heard me say, oh, a guy, babe, this guy they thought was crazy. Oh, thought that he took what I said out of context and didn't understand. my puppies produce possessive dogs. That's what most of these police dogs are. They wrap the legs around things. Possessive. You try to take it from them, then get so hyped up into it trying to get to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah.
These guys don't want dogs that don't do that.
Right.
I don't want it. So what I want is a dog that's high thresholds of everything.
Let me ask you this, Ulysses. You own police dogs. How important is it for you to have a strong, I'll say, off switch in a dog versus the police? Because they kind of like, you see videos, they be struggling like hell to get this dog off a person. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as honest as I can tell you, and it may sound crazy, it's just the lack of that individual's understanding of how to get a dog out, because it's very easy. Out is an obedience command. I play with a puppy with tug sleeve. I'm developing grip and bite. Just like if I let the dog bite you on with a leg sleeve, and I have him on a harness, and you pulling him backing up, you backing away, and I stop, and he pivot and push. He grip. Same thing I'm doing here. He fight with that stop. He push grip. I let him win. Now all of a sudden, out, throw the ball. Out, here's the food. Out, you get to bite something else. So we playing this game, light bulb effect. Bam. As he get older, I'm playing the same game. These guys can get those dogs out. They don't want them. Half of them pretending.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised how many guys really want to see their dog bite somebody and pretend they can't get them out. But they're babies in the game. They're reckless in the game. There's no such thing to me that a dog can't learn it out. Put an e-collar on him, or two, or a pinch collar, and you hit him right one time, he'll never do that again.
Yeah.
How many dogs I got, they know what. I got a certain word I say, like when the dogs, as they growing up, I go out in the woods and they go near something I don't want them to go to. And I practice this I practice this because that's what it's about. Dog training to me is more of, my style is Mr. Miyagi. What you call that? What would you call that when people sit in there and meditate? I'll just say a meditating type style, where I go on long walks in the woods, 4 or 5 miles, dog loose, free, nobody's around. I let the dog get busy and I call it back, right? It's into something. And that's how I get fed. Real dog food, treats, anything in the bag. It's never a consistency of the same thing. You never know. It might be the ball, something. I let it get busy. And I practice leaving things, dropping loose. So that's really my style, although I talk about police dogs because that's my number one, my bread and my butter. My clientele are those guys. But those guys have those same kind of dogs. Now, you got to remember, some of these guys buy dogs from overseas, Europe, different people. And it's sad to say, but a lot of people sell these guys dogs they don't want, dogs they didn't like.
Yeah, overseas. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's not that these guys, some of these dogs are just no good. Some of these guys really are not knowledgeable how to get the out properly, or just don't want them. Because there's no way in the world, because to obedience train a dog is one of the easiest damn things in the world. You can get them to do obedience commands before you can get him to bite. Real bite.
Let me ask you this. What is your history on training, your background, and some things you might have done from a child to now?
Well, it's man, we'll be here 5 years. Could tell you, because I've been training animals. I was raised around ostriches, emus, horses, cows, chickens, ducks, all reptiles, dogs, different breeds. I've been trying to train the chickens to attack people and stuff like that. When I was little, to walk with me before I could get a dog, before my dad never would allow me to have a dog. I had dogs tied up not tied up in the woods, but they were in the woods. I'd take food out there and give them food. They knew I was coming. But as I got older, you know, I worked for the city of Jacksonville. I've done a lot of things. I've learned all of my knowledge self-taught, but I always was around, the shits and groups, the Mondo Ring, the French Ring guys, all of the sports guys at the ASR. I was there at the beginning before when they first started developing protection sport PSA. That was just almost like, to them at that time, was a joke. You're just a bunch of people trying to do something clownish. And now it's the number one thing in the country for sports to me, because I like what they're doing. I know what they're trying to do is to break off from what American Street Ring was before that, the demise of that discipline. The KMPD been around that, watched that, studied it hard. Was search and rescue. I did that on the city level, and with my job, I was a humane investigator. Animal control. I worked as animal control. Then we changed the title to animal warden 1s and 2s, and then it became the ASPC. The welfare. Animals protective services, and I did all of those things. I worked in the kennel. I went to all kind of programs, training in like these the animal disaster programs. I certified in all kind of stuff like CPR for animals. I qualified and certified and passed top of my class for emergency operation planning for search and rescue with these animals. I did this all on the city and government level. While we on a security investigation agency, my dad had that business before I was born. I worked for the Democratic parties, close and personal with Al Gore, all the senators, governors. People don't even know that about me. They think I'm just some old little black boy that just gotten dogs just because I don't always speak politically correct and the hood come out of me, but they don't know that. Mm-hmm. So I know everything about dog training. I learned. I was always around all the old school dog trainers. They call that shit dog training. It's not not really good, but it's good because that's not something you need. And but what makes me one of the greats that I call myself a master is because I understand every discipline from the sports to real life, and I know what it's like to raise companion pets. I've been around game dogs for a very long time, all that kind of stuff. And when it comes to dog training, I can combine all of these systems because I know that if you're going to take a dog the next sector, you can't do too much of this because those dogs are prey type dogs, locked in the prey. You don't want to do this too long. I understand systems of dog training. Even like with searching and track, if you got a detection dog, what's the first thing you see guys do when they got a dog they want to teach their dog to search? What's the first thing you see them getting out there doing?
I'm not really sure about search.
Balls.
Do what?
Playing search games.
Oh, okay.
They don't even know you shouldn't even do that. You should teach your dog footstep track first, and then don't finish him in that because that's too slow. And especially if you're going to law enforcement, you need to do tracking through drive. So the reason you want to do that before you play search games, because if you don't do tracking, doing footstep first, keep his nose to the ground, when he lose a track or get discouraged, what all dogs gonna do when they get discouraged and fatigued? They're gonna go back to the foundation of what they first knew. Mm-hmm. So when you do it, you need to do things in synchronization. I know that a little bit of this is a good foundation. Then you go here.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I did mean to cut you off. But let me ask you this. So what I'm getting is you saying that defensive prey style is a combination. It ain't one thing. So what's your thought? What is your thoughts just on people who defensive train? Or their style, not people. So people don't take shit personally.
Put it like this. Let me say it like this, without giving them all some free game, because they all. Yeah. Most people that get into dogs and first start learning dogs, it's like going to church and they learn a religion. They come back a baby Christian or a baby this, and they think they know everything. Now they try to tell you, been that 20, 30 years in that. So they high on it. And somebody told them a little bit of information that most of these guys don't know everything. Dog training is like religion. It's the biggest fight in the world, the biggest tongue fight. But what makes love so powerful? Love is powerful when you got the action word. So we could talk about it, but actions in the end, the proving product, the end, the result is what makes it powerful. So dog training is like karate, jiu-jitsu, what else?
Judo, kung fu, boxing.
All of it is good. All of it works on somebody who don't know nothing.
True.
All of them got something that can outdo the other. If somebody is seasoned and good at it and can read you. So it's about reading dogs. Where that dog is right now in his life and what he needs. So you might need, if you know all of these different methods, he might need this. Okay, to answer your question, watch it. If you take a dog that got all defense, the only way you can tell, I can tell you, I can read dogs and tell you this. You take a dog, you can't take no puppy and do that. If you take a puppy and train it all defense, you're going to make that puppy a dog that attacks anybody sick, scared, non-trustworthy. If he don't come from good genetics, if you didn't raise him right, if you wasn't a good manager, because dog handlers, dog trainers, they're two different things. Dog handler, dog trainer, dog owner, that's three different things. Now you got a master, that's four different things. You see what I'm saying? Now you got the discipline in the program. That's six different things. You got to put all of that together. Take a puppy and you don't raise him right, be a good manager, and you do the wrong thing, you can put him in flight. Because he's going to flight or fight. Dogs ain't going to do mimic one or the other. A lot of guys don't know that. They don't know how to reach dogs. Do a young dog like that, he going to snap on anything moving. Kids ran by, people running by, the bicycle shop. He's scared. He's spooked. Now, all of them going to growl because that's the dog's defense mechanism, the growl.
No, yeah.
But what he going to do? He ain't going to do one other thing, fight or flight. He going to fight when he feel confident. He going to fight or stand still and don't respond as fast. Dogs that's in that defense, you ain't going to see him 2 blocks down the street, go up the ladder, go through the window, go down the step and get the guy. Most of them, you got to push him. He up close and personal. He don't want to do that. He all defense. And if he is going to do half of that, but he ain't going to do all of that. I already know that. If he do half of that, he could bite anybody in the going after the task, anybody in the way on the way. He don't know who to get. Everybody a threat.
Right.
But right. Most defensive dogs, what I have found about them, what they don't have, it's one or the other. It's not a trick question. What's the opposite of defense?
Offense.
He don't have no offense. So what happens when the bully, you hit him in the mouth? What a bully do when you hit him in the mouth?
He's usually surprised. Yeah.
He's scared now. He don't know what to do. Because before everything he did, he made everybody run off.
Right.
He never tested his skills. He never been tested to be tried and true. He see that blood, he want to run. You take a defensive dog, and he ain't been. Now it's a defensive dog. It's a different type of defensive dog. My way, one where I spar with every night, and he kind of confident and had a little bit of prey. He'll kill you because now he done learn how to transfer. He going for the throw. He ain't care about the equipment. He ain't care about nothing. He trying to kill. They ain't never seen a dog like that. I had one or two like that I trained in my life. And those dogs make your life hell. You can't enjoy life. Got to be in a cage in the house. You go through one to be real killers. This old yellow. This Cujo type. Most people ain't never seen that kind of dog. They think they have. They think they have till they seen this.
Right.
People in my city tell you they used to call my dog the demon. They be like, that dog will kill you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good dog to have far as to enjoy life. Nobody can ever feed him. You can never contain him. But he was a good dog for if you ever thought you was going to get me while I was doing security, working 12 hours a day, 7 days a night. When the long story short, if you spar with him, but sparring like boxers do, because what guys forget is sparring is prey work. Wax on, wax
out.
Uppercut. You got to get it. You got to learn how to box before you can go in there and fight. Street fighting don't win. You win in the street from people who ain't ready and they ain't prepared and ain't as hungry as you are. But somebody, Mike Tyson say, everybody think they're ready to fight, till you get hit in the face.
Yep.
Everybody thought they had a plan till you get hit in the face. Did you know that he was going to do that? You ain't know he was like you, did you? No, he works. So a defensive dog that don't have wax on, wax off, prey, development. A defensive dog has a frontal. He afraid he can be hurt. He's scared. He ain't gonna never be comfortable with his mouth full of grips. Some of them will get it, but if you know how to spot with him, right? Some of them will get it a little bit, but they ain't gonna never have no full frontal. Y'all ain't gonna be low. He come up and transfer if you teaching that over time. You spot with him, but most of them ain't gonna do that. They low. They're scared. Confident dog tail wag. Too much prey, lock them prey. You can pick him up, slam him, and all that beautiful stuff you see on YouTube. One that balance in the middle, you start doing some wrong stuff, he gonna jump off there and hit you somewhere else. If he been sparred and taught right. The defensive dog ain't gonna never feel confident. He gonna have his tail and stiffer, and hair might be up, might go down a little bit. He's still low here a little bit. You push him long enough, he gonna quit. He gonna stop cold turkey in the middle of what you're doing. I promise y'all, I've seen hundreds of them. When I was little, I used to go to these dog training groups with these goddamn old guys. I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I remember Bob Brown from out of Atlanta. They started that Battle of Atlanta stuff. He dead now. He died from cancer. He used to praise me. I used to work when I first graduated from school. And before that, I used to go up there with him and Gerald Cruz and all them guys who were big-time dog trainers, hanging out there with the Bow City training group, shitting group when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. Every day, religiously, every Saturday, I sit out there on the sideline and watch. I ain't never, ever, none of these people never taught me how to train dogs, never helped me. But I found a way to sit on the sideline every day, just watch them, studying. That's all I ever did. Go to the dog kennel or the dog training facility and sit out there all day long. I'll clean up some dog stuff. I'll pick up the dog poop. You want me to wash your dog? I'll do anything you want for $25, for $10. They used to ignore me. They ain't pay me no attention. I go to all of the American street ring stuff. I was the black guy that sits down. The guy used to Ted Hopping. He's going, you all right? He don't want to greet me. Everybody was supposed to pay nothing to me. It was a hard thing for me as a brother back then. I'm 52 years old. Going to that heaven, so I was die. I never said nothing to nobody to try to fraternize with them. I'm just a little standoffish. PTSD. I'm a Taurus. I'm standoffish. I grew up alone. I ain't had no friends, but I had a lot of money. And a lot of dogs. So I watched and I learned. I was able to train dogs. I could take the best dog in the world that you think bad. And I used to show them to older guys. If they see a dog with a bite, they come get me. That's why my talent showing my sons and my nephew and them how to train dogs, teaching them not to be afraid of dogs so they can eat. If they'll never get a job, they can always use their natural God-given talent and go out here and make some money. Because that's what I did. That's how I got off of child support. I owe $84,000 in child support. You know how I got off child support?
How's it?
One day I said, I'm going to get on the internet. I know the internet is entertainment. I'm going to jump around. Yes, sir. And I'm going to do all this other stuff. I'm going to say I'm a grandmaster on the world greatest puppet printer. They laughed at me, called me a joke. Some people believed in me. Some people didn't. Some people say he don't know what he's doing. Some say he did. But you know what I did? I made 4,000, 5,000 videos. And I put them out there for 20 years. Different puppy after puppy and bred my own dogs. He kept every last one of them, played with it and sold it. Now, when you say something, you got to know what you're talking about. Because I went on YouTube when I was in standard definition, black and white. puppy after puppy, dog after dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a ton of content, bro. You have a ton of content.
My kids tell you, you don't saw me when I was skinny.
Yeah.
Then got fat again, then got skinny, grew the beard, grow my mama dad, and I turned white. Once all my whole family died, that was it. I'm alone. So anytime any guy to get online and say anything or do anything, man, I ain't got nothing to lose. I created a character. What I did was I created a character like a rapper. And each one of these videos was my record because I was in entertainment and using my own multimedia business to market myself. But what I was doing was not doing bad business. I was delivering. And so that's what made me stand here today and not hear somebody say anything crazy about me. I ain't, this ain't no game. This ain't no game. So, long story short, those defensive dogs are pretty good if you're going to have a dog inside a building in your house. Because a lot of people don't want to get bit by them. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get tore up. He's a wild dog. He's a dangerous dog. He can be very dangerous if you ever get loose or somebody come in your yard. Those kind of dogs bite civilly, aggressive. And if you've a dog trainer and you got a group and y'all got real equipment and you're teaching him to bite all the time, he can develop and probably become way better than what he is than most defensive dogs who never get in a bout. All that hitting the gate, pulling his flank, doing all that stuff, and he don't never really bite the suit. And somebody just let him have his way with him all the time, just lay there and let him bite without getting hurt. And you roll and build him up. He ain't gonna do none of that stuff you want him to do. So you gotta have some prey, you gotta have some development. There's a time for that. That defensive stuff don't come till the dog mentally mature. Nephew can hit, bam, 8 years old, knocking out all these little boys. Man, he ain't gonna be no Mayweather, and he damn sure can't beat no Mike Tyson right now. Y'all feel washed up. But you got to develop it, put him with the right people, different styles, different skills at different stages of his life, build him up, give him love, stroke him, feed him the right food, keep him out of drugs, healthy, because health part of it, handling part of it, mental growth is a part of it. When he get a certain age, we start putting him bouts where he can win. That's building him up, letting him have his way. He don't know it until we can get him where he's actually a competitor or against people who are really has the kind of skill he has and he don't know then because he done been pumped up. So you got to take a dog at different stages of life. A dog don't act the way he act. Some little puppy you see online, biting on him, sleeves, stuff, that's prey. Those dogs ain't finna, I got trigger words that can make mine bite without equipment, but those are trigger words and that's all prey. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not defense, making a puppy, you pulling his skin, flicking him, squeezing his mouth, all that pit bull stuff, the dumb stuff people do behind those. It's a different demeanor. You can see it's a different bark. It's not a scream. You got to read the dog. If you do that with a little puppy, he's not going to always respond. You're going to shut it down. He's going to be scared. He's going to get messed up. That stuff you see me doing with them kids out there is all praise. That's development. That's fun. And teaching kids the fundamental skills to be able to utilize for the rest of their lives to eat.
Oh yeah, you talking about teaching the kids the bite.
Yeah, and you got
decoy,
bringing it down to their level. You know what that is? That's the same thing as guys building a table. You know why they got that table? The table ain't but for one thing. That's somebody said, I need to make my dog confident to feel like this person walking up with a little air. And he feel he's bigger than him, he don't get enough confidence to bring out his defense and bark. That's all the table is. So he don't fall over, he can't move, like tied him all the time. And he feel like he's bigger than that person. Because when you walk up, he up high, he ain't down low. That's all the table is. That's what the table is. It's making him feel like he up there, looking down on you. He can get you. You take a little puppy, you don't want to get nobody that's big. They're so big, they arm big like me, a fat guy, the dog can't even get around it, grip right. So now you need more elastic equipment so it can go out further. You see what I'm saying? So it can get onto it. But a little arm, it's just in there, and it's dang near nothing. Person down to his size can't hurt him. Big guy kicking the wrong way, you might, if you don't got a dog from good genetics, he might let loose and you won't get in the bite of sleep again until he 8, 9, 10 months old. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta take dogs, and it's all about the dogs, is what I'm saying. Dog training,
Process.
it's all about dogs. It's a process. We gotta build the dogs up. It's not about breaking the dog. It's not about, oh, he supposed to be doing this, that. What he don't supposed to be doing is being pushed. If he being pushed, he gotta be winning. He gotta be having his way. And when he get 10 months old, that 8-year-old nephew that you said could hit, he gonna be bad, because he ain't the boy he was when he was 8, when he 15. When he 15, he ain't the same 15-year-old boy that he gonna be when he 19. You ain't who you was 15 years ago. Your growth has just make you blossom and shine. Your growth. You got equipment. We talking different. We doing different things. It's growth. So mentally, the dog doesn't change. 6, 7 months, you see it. 6.5, 7 months, you see it. Year, 14, 15 months, you see it. 18 months, you're going to see it. 24 months, you're going to see something different. You go out here every day and think you got a little puppy trained to do obedience because he saw the emotional range and all that. No, he ADHD. It's a process. You got to teach him his boundaries, what he can do and should not do. And then one day he wakes up, he ain't running around trying to bite stuff and nip stuff like a herding dog do. Now he acting more mature. And now all of a sudden you ain't do sit with it no more. All of a sudden he sit at a distance. When he used to want to run up to you and sit, his light bulb effect going on. It's about patience. It's about time. It's about timing. Now that defense stuff, we bring that in later. We do this right here for a little while. Then we stop that. Now we do this program right here a little bit. But in the midst of all of that, we taking him out, playing obedience, exposure everywhere. Exposure, agility, obedience, utilitarian now. By the time you get 10 months old, oh, he's around the world. He's developed. He knows where he should go, what he should not do. He's already there. Now it's about being a good manager, not letting him run around in the yard, having experiences that I'm not there. He's in the killing. Every time I take him out, he's learning something. I don't let him run around, be freely. Every time I take him out to kill him, he's learning something for his mental. You're not doing doggy bondings. We not having doggy bondings. We'll have to retrain him. So that's what it's about, man. It's no dog training master, no skills, no methods better than the others. About there's a time for it. And you got to be able to read dogs, because that's what makes us good dog trainers. It's not what we, well, it is what you know, but it's about being a good manager, being a good handler, and knowing when to apply a little bit of pressure, and let up. Don't be afraid to step back at one and take those baby steps and get there, because we got 13, 14 years to live with some of these dogs. We know by the time he's 4.5, he should be finished, or 3.5. Getting there, 4.5, that dog mentally changed. I swear a dog will change at 4.5, he's a whole different kind of dog. 3.5, you're going to think he's there, but 4.5, you're going to really see it. And everything you've taught him is in his memory bank, because everything we talked about today should be pictures. Dogs are creatures of habit. They cannot reason like humans. You and I fall out. Me and this guy fall out. But we can all turn around and reason and come to a mutual understanding and ground. Those dogs only mimic behaviors of consistency. They're creatures of habit. That's why you keep playing it this way, doing this, he learn it. He can change it anytime. A dog can learn at any age. But there's some things that he learns the wrong way as his foundation. You gotta then compulsion train it out. And that's the old style way. Those old trains compulsion. Well, that's the place for that, because by the time he's 2.5, 3 years old, you should start introducing that stuff to him. He's gonna need compulsion to finish him. The plaything is plaything. Like you're gonna need tools. Use stuff like e-collars. You know what I'm saying? Only good e-collars, good ones. You know, I don't train dogs with pinch collars and chokers. If you ever notice, I never ever.
I've never seen. Yeah,
I just use flat lines And I use food. I'm always feeding them from out of my hand. I don't pick jackets and pockets. That's why I don't never look. That's why I don't never look flashy online. I always look like I'm dirty. I always look with BDUs and fishing jackets and all that stuff. It's just clothes I can put food in because it's all about the dogs. Dog training should be all about the dogs. Methods should be all about the dogs. People, us as a whole in the dog community, no matter what your dog style training is, whatever, we should be together. You say, Joe say, I want to do this with my dog. Well, then that's what Joe wants me to do because it worked for Joe. I'm gonna do what Joe says, and I'm gonna be the best at it for Joe. Now, if Joe asks me to read the dog and do some stuff, I should be able to do that at least. If I see where I'm making him high and dry right here, that's why I'm gonna keep him in, and then I'm gonna get away from him, make him give it more, feel some more stress, frustration, so it can be, there for you. Not tell you what the hell to do it. That's not how you do it. Somebody else will do it. Because at the end of the day, all of these methods can get to the same ending result. It's just going to display how the dog looks doing it. Compulsion, yeah, pray to too much, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In between, a little cautious meditation, playing games, you're going to do the same. It ain't going to be as tight in the pocket because like a sports dog, because they're all about points on the field. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you use your compulsion later on in life when you setting him up because you find your pros and your cons, which is his strengths and his weaknesses, and work on all of his weaknesses, find out, take him out here in the real world. If you're going to have a service dog or just have an all-around protection dog, everybody should do it. Go out in the park, go out here in the, not necessarily around dogs and people, but in the woods on trails and let him loose. Get you an e-collar for young dogs and for older dogs. You got both of them. And long lines in case somebody come or something leash you put him on, but you get a puppy e-collar and an adult e-collar for different stages of life. Let him go. The only thing you need to teach him is to come when you call him. If you're teaching that, don't worry about the rest of that stuff. You can manipulate motion or range with toys and treat systems, yes, up, down, let it go. Down, up, down, you know what I'm saying? And then over again and walk a little bit, ignore, from the air, yes. Market reward. You can develop obedience through those meditating walks. So he look like a pro in the end of the day. If you walk every day, you lose a little weight, little exercise, reset your mind, soulful. You know what I'm saying? All of those things. And bring that into the compulsion later on, not while he's young, when he's older. Okay, make sure you real high and dry, or you see something you really want, another dog, I done learned that when you see the dog and he barks, you think he's gonna run over there, then you set him up. You take him places and set him up, and you rectify those problems right then before it develops. Because if you let it develop, then it's going to be harder to fix it. And that's why I say you keep him locked up. You put the positive stuff in his mind. You see what I'm saying? You know all of his experiences. You read the dog. You introduce him to different styles of training, different methods. All of it's useful. Everything they do online. But as a dog trainer, you got to read the dog to be coming to your greatness. That's what makes you good, besides the handling. You got to be able to read dogs. You have to be patient. That's how you become great. That's how your dog become great. Your obedience is all me, the handler, how well he going to be in the end, and protection is how good you, Mr. Joe, my decoy, is animated from the time he was little to the time to the next stage of the defense stuff. So the puppy prey, how wild they made him feel like they was gonna get away and frustrated, feeling what getting crazy, and you know what I'm saying, that he excited to play the game all the time and do it longer. Because if he's not really excited, he's not gonna stay there. Right. He's not gonna stay there long. But when it comes to defense, that's putting a little pain to the dog, letting him know he can be heard. The sports guys introducing the stick. That's what they're doing, trying to make you feel like he can handle pressure. But for dogs in prey, locked in prey, it's like he can take a lot of pain because he already on the system, the same old thing, and stay there and look like he's good, but he may not be tell you get out here in the street and get in a real fight.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just so much stuff I can tell you, man. But you won't know because it's all in here. It's all in here. It's all in here. It's all, getting out here every day with dogs, the experience, been around the world, different countries, seen different kind of dogs, watched different people do something, kept my motherfucking mouth closed and not try to act like I'm some damn great. And if y'all ever notice, I'm online, I stay in my own lane. I don't talk about nobody. I don't say nothing about nobody.
Yeah, you stay in your own world.
And I do a lot of talking when I like somebody like that. And then you learn who I really am.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you love to talk about dogs.
Yeah.
But I noticed too that especially you guys is really advanced. Y'all just got that connection with animals. You know what I mean? Some people just got it. You know what I mean?
I was born that way.
Yeah.
I like dogs more than I like people. But the people that I like, I love.
Right.
Yeah. People don't know. I met you and your wife a long time ago on the phone. Y'all called me and asked for help, gave me some money, and that's how I met you. So I've been knowing you.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah, years ago.
Don't know. I've been knowing you for a long time, but not really.
Yeah.
I ain't never really be just called every day. But I'm already familiar with who you are. So to see you doing this was very exciting for me. To be able to get help from you and give you help in some kind of way. And you give me the exposure because I don't really do much. I don't say much.
Yeah.
Online.
Well, that's what it's fun. That's what it's fun, bro. When you first get into dogs and things like this, it's a lot of stuff hidden. And so when you go to online, you be like, man, that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I said, man, I'm gonna be that dude that know guys, the real guys, and I'm gonna bring them up on here. Now all of them don't come, but when I get yeses, it be big yeses. Guys like you, guys I got coming.
Hey man, well, most for me, because I'm older than you, about 10 years or so. About 10 years, a little bit more.
Right.
The people that was in dogs when I was in dogs, say out of 100, I knew it's only maybe 3 or 4 still around. Maybe 10 at the most, but not really in the dogs active out here like that.
Right.
So in the dogs, people come and go. Yeah. Only people last is people who live the lifestyle.
Yeah, you're not the first dog man to tell me that.
Yeah, that's not
yeah, because in my world, Corso world, I do the Corso and the Central Asian Shepherds. Right. I talk to the old breeders because Corso got popular. You know the way it looks. Area's all muscled up.
I didn't know nothing about them until around about that time when you met. Around about that time, you, Joe Thomas, and Telly Arnold was the first 3 people I heard really tell me what that was. I was like, what that is?
Yeah.
Then I was confused because he telling me one thing, and y'all be saying one thing. Then I looked at him and studied him a little bit. Then I got familiar with him, but I never got into him. I did buy. I was gonna get one after I met you from a guy, but I decided not to take him home. I got a African Border, and then I gave him to my guy who was breeding cane horses. I had him about 5 or 6 months.
So dealing with the Dutch Shepherd and a Mastiff is like totally 2 different dogs. Did it bore you? Did the Mastiff bore you?
Well, the 2 guys that live here, Blue and oh man, what's my guy? The Greg it's Blue and Gray. They both got the big restaurant here. They went overseas and got these dogs and brought them back. And it wasn't a bore because this dog, I trained him for them. I trained that dog. They paid me to train the dog. I got to know the dog. The dog really worked. He did everything I wanted to do. I got a system for training dogs. And then after I trained the dog, they gave the dog to me. So he wasn't a wild dog, but man, this dog was a working dog. Mm-hmm. He was big. He was a lot slower, of course, but if he ever got hold of you, you wasn't getting loose. He gonna get the ball, bring it back. He wasn't gonna run and jump over no fence and look like no Belgian Malinois, but he'll jump over the fence. He was smart. He did the bite work, all of that kind of stuff. So I just gave him away because I just felt like he was eating so much dog food. He was so big. That wasn't what I was into. I wanted to create me a program with the Dutch Shepherds and to stick there. So I knew that those dogs were not for me, and I just wanted to give them to somebody who that would love them and appreciate him and take him to that next level. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I got out of him. That's all. It was just he was a real big dog, and it took a lot to feed him. And I knew I was on my head, and the best thing in the world was you get him with somebody who was going to do the right thing with it.
What's your favorite dog food, bro?
Chase to the wild. I eat raw. Liver, organ meat, all that kind of stuff. I buy these logs, rabbit, fish, salmon oil, all that kind of stuff. But Taste of the Wild is one of my favorites. And I'll mix it up with Victor. Victor has a lot of oil, a lot of fat, and make your dog stool run because it's a lot of fat and all that type of stuff in there. So I like to cut it. I cut that with 2 bags of Taste of the Wild, which is more expensive. It'll blow them up and make them look good. When I'm not doing as good, I might get some
what taste board? Okay. United States board.
That's my board bowl I had.
Okay, cool.
And I got videos on my other YouTube channel that people don't know about of me training and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah. What are the Borbles? What are they like for his drive? I guess they could be different, but
I didn't have a bunch of them to really say what they all were like as a whole. But that one I had, like I said, and going back, he do it. He did everything you see me doing online with them pit bulls, the German Shepherd, and the Dutch Shepherd. He did all the stuff they did. He was just bigger and slower. Mm-hmm. And he weighed about 100 and maybe 25, 40 pounds. He was young then, 10 months old, 11 months old.
Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, man. Hey, I'm probably going to have you back, brother.
Man, you can have me back anytime you want to, man. I love sitting on here talking to people like yourself, talking about dogs. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry for me having the shades on, but a lot of people don't know. Back when I was working, and I got off one night, and some guys tried to rob me and shot me in the head. Broke my eye case and my jawbone, my left side. I was really in a bad accident. So I'm really partially blind. And the computer lights messed me up. And they told me I should always wear shades. So that's why you see me when I talk. I don't look at the camera squinching a lot because the lights hurt my eyes. Sun rays and stuff like that. I try to look at the camera a lot and stuff like that. But that guy, though, they be like, I ain't trying to be cool. Because dog training ain't cool. Dog trainers ain't cool.
It's a dirty game.
We're assholes.
Hey, so also they need to know that you do consultations. You can call them up.
Well, yeah.
And let the people know how to contact you.
The phone number is 904-450-3339. I'm also on YouTube as Vanguard K9 Trainings. And we're building a new website, which is DutchShepherdUSA.com. Because, everything over here, we make in the USA. You can find this equipment, all of that stuff on there. I needed somebody like that guy to build my website. I needed him to build my website to help me get my book, but I guess everything been destroyed. So I'll be stuck for a little while getting it finished. Okay. Yeah, so you can go to DutchShepherdUSA.com or 904-450-3339. You just Google Vanguard K9 Training. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida. My name gonna pop up everywhere. You start asking